and the auditors had more time, and the Senate has only one morning and afternoon to review the report of the Auditor General and take recommendations to the House. But the good thing is that in this year, we have built a system where once we have made our recommendations, we give you time to implement, and we review again mid-year. The issues around ROR, particularly the issues around automation and processes, systems, I hope that your responses are detailed enough to allow us to write a report and to come up with proper recommendations. Because if your written responses are weak, then we might crucify you for lack of information. So between the report of the executive, the report of the receiver of revenue, and the report of the county revenue fund, we have prosecuted the key issues that we thought related to lawfulness, related to effectiveness, or had a hint of criminality. And I think that on the basis of the responses that have been tabled by the governor, we could be in a position to do a report to the House. Unless there is a matter from the OAG that is extremely, extremely important, where you will need our guidance, where you feel that the county has not responded properly in writing. If there is such a matter, bring it to our attention. Otherwise, we shall retreat, do our report, and make sure that by 31st of March, we communicate on the resolutions of the House. OAG?
Thank you, Chair. We really appreciate for this session. Probably they can just also provide us with the responses to the HR issues that were in the special report.
Okay. And again, Governor, I see some disconnect between your team and the Office of the Auditor General. There are things we are discussing here that we should not be discussing here. And so go back and deal with that situation. If you need to train your people, if you need to warn your people, because I feel like there's 1 hour we have spent here which we should not have spent. We could have discussed other more important policy and value for money issues rather than arguing on whether a document was provided or not. So please, in my experience, the Office of the Auditor General, they are professionals, and I've found them to be very useful in terms of even improvements in internal processes. The next time we have this kind of engagement, please make sure that the chair of your audit committee is also part of the delegation. Please make sure, where is the chair of the audit committee? Where's the Sergeant at Arms? Sergeant at Arms? Just give him the mic so that he introduces himself, because there's no need for you to have very, very qualified people, and the threshold for the chair of the audit committee is so high. I think he must be a member of the institute. CPA Tunga. He must be a member of the institute. We want to make use of them so that they can also help us and tell us the things that they are doing proactively to reduce the non-conformances. Maybe, Chair, I will give you a minute just to reintroduce yourself, and from the amount of hair on your head, I believe you have seen much more than I've seen. You might give us just 1 or 2 minutes of your observations on how we can make this run much better.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Julius Mutinda. I'm Chair of Audit Committee of Embu. We started, we're given this work in June last year. And when this, I can say I'm a retired officer of Auditor General. I was a director of audit. I am aware of all these issues which are interest, but what I can say is that in Embu, if I'm given a chance again, I can be a very important person to advise the government. Through my experience in Auditor General's office, and I think this, I think I was not informed. I was not very much involved in this response of these queries, And in the future, I can testify here and say that I will be very important, and I do my best to liaise with my colleagues, Auditor General, and I will give positive responses. Thank you.
Governor, you have a resource that it's like you have a marking scheme in your institution, but you are not using the marking scheme. You have such a qualified person who has been director of audit, who understands this language and this process. Why would you not use that resource, even though they started in June? Why wouldn't you use that resource so that we have, look at some of the things we have here. ICT controls, you have 10 things. HR, you have 6, 7 things. Some things, it's like you are seeing for the first time while at the Senate. We just want to encourage you that these audit committees, they should not be decoration. You then demotivate and frustrate someone of that gentleman's stature, because he will now feel like he's earning allowances and not rendering service. I know there are a lot of people who want to come and help county governments, but they feel like even if they came, no one takes them seriously. We had county budget and economic fora, which the law requires you to fill with very, very qualified people. Very qualified people. The CBEFs, I don't know whether they are still working in county governments. You have the audit committee with a very high threshold for the chair, because the chair must be a member of the institute. What about the secretary? Or this one does not have a secretary? Tunga.
The head of the audit function is usually the secretary.
That is internal audit?
Yes.
The internal auditor is the secretary?
A secretary to the audit committee.
And the internal auditor is also a professional?
Yes.
Either a member of ISPAC or the other institute?
Sure.
So why aren't you helping the governor?
We are doing our best, and I think with the support of the audit committee and the management, these are improving.
Because the governor should never come here and say that she's still unsure of her pending bills. And yet you have an internal auditor, and yet you have people who understand the audit process. So really, this is, Governor, I hope your officers don't take it personally.
Yes.
But I'm just encouraging that utilize the resources that you have internally. They will make your life easy. You will come to Nairobi and will spend only 1 hour.
Chair, you'll see a difference next time. I'm really going to make good use of this resource. Clearly, I can see it wasn't put into good use. If it was, some of these things would not have found their way here.
Fine. So we look forward to the next meeting. I hope that we'll see the fingerprints of those experts in the next report that we'll be looking at.
Thank you.
We will then bring it to a close. I don't know whether the members of County Assembly who are coming made their way here, or they got the per diems and decided to do otherwise. That's a different matter. In terms of closing remarks, I think we will donate our time to the senator from Embu. Let me allow the governor to go first, and then the senator will summarize on behalf of the committee.
Chair, thank you very much. On behalf of my team, we want to appreciate the time we've spent together here, and especially so the value add that we've gotten out of this process, and also thank the OAG for their work. I think their work is what makes us do better. I want to promise that going forward, you're not going to see these gaps. There will be a better and closer working relationship with them in ensuring that what they ask for is actually provided and done so in time, not before the Senate committee. And as you have advised, we'll make good use of the resource that we have so that we make sure things are better, but we continue to appreciate the work that this committee is doing to make sure that counties deliver services, are more effective, more efficient, and follow the law. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Mundigi. Lakini usichome, it's closing remarks.
Okay, asante Chairperson. Muna committee hii ya audit mnafanya kazi nzuri, chapa kazi, lakini najua after some month kazi itakuwa imepandilika kwa sababu hata kila mtu ameona mali ule amesembea kazini. Kwa hiyo ningeomba watu wa Embu County tusiangushe governor, tunajua vile anafanya kazi na vile anaumia. Kwa hivyo ule mtu afanye kazi, ningeomba governor kama ni changes, kama ni mambo ya CEC ama ni nani, uende uangalie vizuri, uende ufanye na nani afai haende. Kwa sababu ni kitu ya aibu. Chairperson governor ni mchapakazi, lakini mambo ingine ni aibu. Tumeona hata Ndarok mnafaa wao wakifanya kazi na audit office. Nilikuwa na tatuisi kidogo na audit, lakini nimeona mnafanya kazi nzuri. Kwa hivyo governor, tafadhali mkirudi wakati wengine, tafadhali, unajua mimi naunga nyinyi mkono, mtianguse Embu County. Ya mwisho, najua mambo ya revenue, governor amejaribu, amefika hiyo nearest 1 billion. Na najua vile alikuta about 340 million, kwa hivyo anafanya kazi. Na ndio umeona nikingangana naye nikimuunga mkono, ile pesa yetu ilikuwa ni kidogo, lakini sasa tumeongezea. Chairperson pia county zile ndogo, county zile iko na 4 sub counties, sio kama yangu, sio kama Omambe ama Nairobi, mwende muangalie county zetu ndogo zile 11, budget inakuja iweze kupatikana, ndio mambo ya pending bill iweze kupungua. Kwa sababu governor ile shinda alipata pale ilikuwa na shida nyingi sana. Mambo ya pending bill, wage bill, na unamesikia hata banki watu wakuwa wanalipwa mshahara. Siku hizi nafikia governor analipa watu mshahara. Kwa hiyo unaona budget inakuwa na shida. Ile mambo ingine ningegusia, najua kama ni pesa, naomba chief officer ile pesa ambayo umetoa upande mwingine uende urudishe, ndio tukuje wakati ile mwingine audit kule iwe haiko. Kwa hivyo mimi naunga mkono kamati yako na audit na pia na governor na wale wengine. Asanti. Ni mimi Daktari Mundigi.
With that, we come to a close. The meeting is adjourned because if I say more, tutachoma. We wish you a safe journey back home.